Hi Scorpio, welcome to your September 2020 Astrology 33 reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you interested in booking a personal reading with me, I'm actually going to be taking a bit of a break from those, probably at least for the next month. But if I do start them up earlier than that, I will make an update in the community section of the channel. As for what's in front of us, we have a Celtic cross spread as always, and I also pulled some Oracle cards for you guys and a Mudra card. So we get started with the main situation. We have the Two of Pentacles. So for some of you, I feel like this is representing a new start for you guys. So for example, the first thing that comes to mind is maybe some of you started a new job recently or will be very soon, and you're just trying to get the hang of things. You know, maybe it's a path that you're not generally used to, so it could feel totally new to you. So you're just trying to learn the ropes, figure out what to do, right, how to do it, things along those lines. So it could feel like a fresh start for you in that regard, but maybe a bit overwhelming at the same time. Now this is Capricorn energy too, which is your house communication. So for some of you, it could be that you're weighing your options as far as whether or not to communicate something to someone. And with the water we see there, it could be that, you know, there's some intense emotions around it, but you might be trying to turn your back to those and really just say, okay, I want to communicate this to a person in a totally practical way, right? Try to remove the emotions from it. But that's what I'm seeing there. In the challenger obstacle position, we have judgment. So this is actually, for me, it represents an energy of rebirth. So I feel like this is saying that whatever new start you did have, this is saying that, you know, this might have shut the door on the past for whatever reason. Maybe you wanted it that way too, but I will say, you know, just keep in mind that maybe try not to burn any bridges, just given some of the other cards I see there when you do end something to enter into another thing. But yeah, that's what I see there. Again, primarily I'm picking up on this as being finances for some of you. And quite frankly, for some of you, this could even say that you are going back to something from your past, but maybe you've just been detached from it for so long that it feels like it's something totally new, and now you're trying to get back in your zone with that. In the foundation position, we have the Knight of Swords. So this is actually Gemini energy, and that's the natural representative of the house communication, but also for you guys, Gemini energy is the 8th house, which is the house you guys naturally rule. But really what I'm getting here is I feel like this is saying that there's the potential for some volatile communications this month. And I mean, it would make sense as far as you guys have all those planets in Capricorn, which is your 3rd house communication. They've been there for a long time, but now they're actually getting some tense aspects from Mars in Aries. So I feel like for the majority of you, if this were to happen, I feel like this is primarily around workplace things for you guys. And quite frankly, that might even be why you're at that new job, right? Like maybe some of you might have just really told your current job, I can't deal with you anymore, and just totally bolted from the job and started a new job. That's certainly a possibility, just because of all those tense energies going on in the workplace for some of you. But yeah, in any event, I feel like this is just saying that you have that fire and that passion behind you to actually go start something new. In the past position, we have the 7 of Pentacles. So this is actually Taurus energy here. And given that Taurus represents your opposite sign, this can be around romantic relationships for some of you. So maybe it is. Some of you might have actually decided to part ways with a person you were in a relationship with. But with this energy, regardless of if it's around an actual romantic relationship or just a partnership in general, which can include, like I said, a work partnership, right? Feels like you're just looking at the amount of work that you put in and asking yourself, you know, is the cost benefit really working out for you, right? Like if you feel like you've been with the company for 7 years, for example, but you feel like you haven't gotten nearly to the point where you want it to be at this point. So it could be one of those things that you're feeling there. I'm recording this right in the middle of the month, and of August, that is, and we're having Uranus go retrograde too in your opposite sign, so that could also add to that feeling, but that's what I'm seeing there. In the present position, we have the Tower and the 5 of Pentacles. So, I mean, these are two pretty rough energies to have, but at the same time, it totally makes sense for them to be together, right? Because, I mean, a Tower moment, most people would feel kind of like this after a Tower moment. even though this is Taurus energy again, which again can point to relationships for some of you, given that that's your opposite sign. And that's also, like I said, where Uranus will be doing its retrograde. I also feel like there's some significance here, though. I'm still picking up on for a lot of this being tied to work for a lot of you. So, like I said, it could be as simple as that. Maybe you guys were at a job that you feel like I'm not nearly as far ahead in this place where I should be, and you might decide to abruptly leave the job, right? And then that could be them in this position because now they have to fill the gap of your void leaving the company, right? But for some of you, this can represent some financial difficulty for you as well, though. So just be mindful of that. And maybe that's even what that Two of Pentacles is, right? And let's say maybe you leave your job before you even have another one secured, right? Because maybe it just something boils up. Like I said, there is definitely going to be some tense energy in your sixth house for a while. So that can be workplace things. Add to the fact that Mercury's going to be moving into Libra too. So that's going to be making tense energies with that. So, just be on the lookout for that, especially in the workplace, but also possibly in relationships as well. Near future position, we have the King of Wands in reverse. So, the classic thing that comes to mind with this for me, especially, this is Leo energy. So, given that this actually represents for you guys your 10th house of career and social status, it could just flat out point to a boss that's unbearable, basically, right? They might be very set in their ways, not really be willing to compromise. And if that's the case, on one hand, then yeah, I could totally see why you would leave a job, right? If that's the kind of work environment you were dealing with. But that's what I'm seeing there with this person in reverse. It does seem like, in the upright position, this is a better energy to deal with. But in the reverse, it seems like this is someone set in their ways, doesn't really want to compromise. And quite frankly, if that's a romantic relationship as well, maybe you guys are dealing with a Leo or any fire sign. If that's the energy they're coming to the situation with, then it's understandable, right, where you might want to get out of that. But that's what I'm seeing there. All right, the position of your influence in a situation, we have the Ten of Cups. So this is a good energy to see come up in your position, because I feel like this is saying that either you're going to end up feeling happy. So again, if you do leave a connection, right, and you feel like it was just unbearable, this could be where you're at afterwards, or this could just be saying that this is you getting in your mind what would be the happiness for you, right? And if you do realize that happiness isn't with this job or with this person, maybe just making that decision actually gets you on the path toward getting to it. But that's what I'm seeing here. Now, this is Pisces energy, and for you guys, that's your fifth house of romance and creativity. But also just be mindful of, maybe you're just seeing the situation slightly differently than the other person if it is around a romantic connection. But that's what I'm seeing there. In the environment position, we have the Eight of Cups. So, this can represent, for some of you, maybe it's the other person who maybe it's the King of Wands, for example, who's insistent on getting their way. Maybe you communicate to them and you guys get into an argument, and they might actually be the ones who do leave. But either way, it looks like I said, either you're on your path to happiness, or at the very least, you know what that entails for you. So, if you truly feel for sure that this person isn't it, or this job isn't it, by all means, maybe it would be time to walk away. And for some of you, that's what this could represent too. Since this is the environment position, it could just be saying the energies at play might bring you to this point where you're ready to walk away from something and seek something more fulfilling. And that's what I'm seeing there. As far as the timeline goes, this is more Pisces energy, so it might be around the time of that Pisces full moon for you guys, which is pretty early on in September. So that's what I see there. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Queen of Wands. So I would say for most of you, this is probably more of a hope, right? And it could just be saying that you're hoping for that stability, that recognition when it comes to your work for a lot of you, because again, Aries energy being your sixth house. But for others of you, it can be around a romantic relationship as well, right? Maybe you want that connection where you feel valued. Who wouldn't, right? But you know what I mean? That could be just something that's on your mind. I don't necessarily see this as coming across as a fear. That's what I'm seeing there. And then in the outcome position, and to be quite frank, if this is around a relationship too, maybe this is what you're hoping for from this person, right? Where if you feel like they're just really set in their ways, right, not really compromising, that you would hope for them to take on a bit more of that more vulnerable energy, right? The King of Wands in reverse versus the Queen of Wands in the upright. This looks like it would be a more vulnerable energy, still passionate, right? Still might want things a certain way, but also a bit more vulnerable, a bit more receptive, a bit more willing to compromise a little bit. So that could be what you're hoping for from this person as well. And in the outcome position, we have the Eight of Wands. So the good thing about this is if this is around finances for you guys, and that Five of Pentacles does represent you guys taking a bit of a financial hit, the good thing here, given that this represents Sagittarius energy, I feel like this is saying that, you know, they will pick up for you rather quickly. So I don't think it's going to knock you down for too long. And maybe that Two of Pentacles, like I said, is an energy where for a while you might have to be a bit tight with your finances because, like I said, maybe you just decided to abruptly leave a job without having another one secured and in place before doing so. But it looks like it would be short-lived. If this represents, let's say, you guys putting your resume out there, it looks like you might get a lot of calls for interviews, things along those lines. But if this is around a relationship as well, it also looks like it's saying that, you know, either a lot of options will come your way from other people, or this could just reopen the lines of communication between you and that person. So it could be one of those things, you know, where maybe you guys just had to go through that blow up, right? Maybe it's saying it might make it a bit difficult for you guys to come back to the past, but eventually with time you guys might get things moving again. And also I would say with this card showing up in the challenger obstacle position, pay attention to any signs and symbols you might be getting, whether it be in your dreams or just synchronicities you come across in a given day, because that could be saying that could be the key to your getting out of difficulty too. You know, maybe you guys are getting some kinds of signs, but you're not paying attention to them. So just wanted to mention that as well. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Chariot. So Chariot's another auspicious card to see at the bottom of the deck. Represents success and movement. So like I said, this for a lot of you, I feel like, yeah, I mean, the Tower seems like it's definitely going to be something that's going to happen if it hasn't happened for you guys already, given that it's in the present. For some of you might have just gone through it or will very soon. Seems like it would be a rather short-lived thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, no one wants to experience that, and definitely not this energy either, right? But I feel like it does, looking at the energy here, the energy there, the outcome, looks like it will actually end up benefiting you in the long run. Easier said than done to believe that, right, when you're going through this moment. But worst case, you guys can try to carry a protection stone around with you guys. Like usually I recommend black tourmaline just because the striations on it remind me of the bottom of the tower there, but whatever one you're more comfortable with. They're usually pretty inexpensive too if you don't already have one. Okay, moving on to the oracle cards, we have Serendipity. There's the artwork, and the number is 18. Okay, it says opportunity allied with readiness, the awareness of synchronicity, luck and good fortune appearing as signs and symbols, a magical alignment of events. The oracle's message. You've stepped into alignment with the greater good, where your dreams and the collective dream resonate in exquisite harmony. Now is the time for luck and preparation to meet and create miracles that you could never have planned all by yourself. Keep in mind that you are a channel for providence right now, as a higher energy uses you as a force on behalf of the whole world. Your fortune becomes everyone's fortune. Everything you bring into being now will leave a wondrous legacy for others in the future. Your service to the world is being supported at this time. Expect the unexpected, and smile, for Spirit loves you so very much. So interesting message there, and again, that just brings me back to what I was feeling here with the Judgment card and the challenge position. Like I said, definitely, I mean, you guys are usually very in tune with your intuition anyway, but maybe even that Two of Pentacles is pointing to you guys kind of turning your back on your intuition, right? Intuitively, you might feel something, you're like, no, you know what, let me just try to look at this from a practical perspective. And this could just be saying with these two cards together to really just pay attention to signs and synchronicities around you, because they might actually put you on the right path. So hopefully that resonated. The relationship message says, Spirit has a plan, and that plan is to place you in front of the right person at the right time. You have met or are about to meet someone vitally important to your journey, someone Spirit wants to bring into your life. Only divine forces can plan this meeting. It is out of your hands. Pay attention to the signs Spirit presents. So definitely a pretty positive message there. And like I said, for some of you, maybe if you have been in a relationship with someone where you feel like they're not compromising, right, and you do decide to leave, maybe that represents the Eight of Cups being your energy, then moving away, and then maybe that actually was the lesson that you needed to learn there, and that could move you forward as well. The prosperity message says you are in the right place at the right time. Be grateful, for the stars are aligned in your favor, and fortune is smiling on you. Victory and success are yours. The choices you have made in the past have prepared you for the opportunities now before you. This is your lucky moment. The timing is perfect. So yeah, I mean, like I said, don't get me wrong, that Tower moment looks like it might bring some difficulty with it, with the Five of Pentacles beneath that, but like I said, seeing the Chariot here, Ten of Cups in your position, Eight of Wands in the outcome, really does seem like it would be short-lived for you. And quite frankly, like I said, for some of you, it might be more the other person that feels that, like I said, whether you leave a job abruptly and now they're screwed because they have to fill in the vacancy from you leaving, right? Or again, if it's a relationship with someone who refuses to compromise with you, right, then I could throw them for a loop. So it might be more them experiencing that energy. But yeah, hopefully that resonated with you as well. All right, next we have White Raven Spirit. It says, trust in the magic. There's the artwork, and the number is 66. Okay, it says, nothing in the universe is random, for the intricate web of co-creation weaves together all events and has done so since the beginning of time. Coincidences have meaning, and the White Raven Spirit appears to remind you to pay attention to these synchronicities so that you might recognize patterns. Even the winds dance in a pattern, participating in the magic of Spirit's plan for all. Align with the highest good and intentions, and you will come to see that White Raven is guiding you, an ally to you, and a messenger from Spirit. Align with the light, and you will start to recognize that all is working together harmoniously in ways the eyes can't always see and the mind can't always comprehend. The universe is conspiring on your behalf right now, drawing you to the light and bringing you the magic and miracles that are your birthright. Now is the time to trust in the magic of the world that is everywhere and in all things. Pay attention to how things come together as if by magic, and you will see the hand of Great Spirit arranging things in your favor. So definitely a pretty good message there. And again, with that judgment and the challenge position, I feel like that could just be saying, again, like for whatever reason, like I said, maybe you guys are just caught up in the everyday type things. And because of that, you're kind of out of tune with things going on around you. But I feel like the messages here are really saying to pay attention to your intuition and just look out for signs and synchronicities this month. So I just wanted to bring that up again. All right. And finally, we have a Mudra card for you guys, and the Mudra that you guys got for this month is a Kapittha Mudra. There it is there, and the keyword for it is creativity. Alright, there's the info on it there if you want to pause it or take a screenshot. But under benefits, it says, can be used as a tool for sexual healing, releasing guilt and shame around sexuality, increases sensitivity and receptivity, stimulates healthy libido, opens the connection between the pelvis and heart, expands feelings of devotion and kindness. So that sounds like something you think would be beneficial for you guys. We'll put the name of the Mudra in the description video as always. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.